Hello and welcome to another game review. First off, I do want to get all the comparisons between the Hong Kong Massacre and Hotline Miami out of the way. Yes, they are both fast-paced top-down shooters where the main character can only take one bullet before biting the dust, and the main objective being to go through mostly narrow corridors to dispatch all the other living beings around. But that's basically where the comparisons end, for better or worse. I do love this type of shooter. They are some of the rare games that I sit down to actually try and perfect a level before I move on. It's both fun and hard, which is a perfect combination, am I right, ladies? Oh, damn it. Starting off with a dick joke doesn't bode well for the rest of the review, not at all. Genitalia references aside, I don't often try to perfect runs of games. In my opinion, that makes them more of a chore than fun. Exceptions being Hitman Blood Money and, funny enough, Overcooked. Still, it is just so satisfying to get through the whole level, constantly running and blasting enemies before they notice that you are there, and so much fun when I pull it off for the first time after restarting the level for the 100th time because the enemies are just ruthless. I guess the main character doesn't shower between missions because the enemies can pinpoint his position like bloodhounds as soon as he steps into the same building they occupy, and them having infinite ammo was just something that I needed to get used to. But once I figured out the NPC patterns, it was quite easy to predict where they will move or how they will shoot, which coupled together with the slow motion mechanic that this game has, made it feel a bit easier than the others of its kind, which is actually opposite of what these games are trying to be, and that is being a challenge to the player to make winning in the end feel so much rewarding. The slow motion makes it feel much less challenging than the previously mentioned Hotline Miami. I'm not saying that the game is not challenging, it actually is. I might even make a compilation of all my deaths in the end of this video. Might be fun to watch, I guess. However, they say that variety is the spice of life, and if that is true, only 4 weapons being available in this game and 1 enemy type for each of them makes it quite bland. It is fun to experiment with them at the start, but sooner or later anyone will find their weapon of choice and stick to it, and the few upgrades that can be bought for them don't do much to change the pace, which is one of the few gripes I have with it. I personally, as you can see from the footage, use the same weapon because it's much easier to just stick to one and get a good feel for it. When it comes to the story, most of it is explained in the game's description. It is a revenge plot, one of the oldest stories told. The main character got either betrayed or someone close to him got killed, and then he decided that murdering fools is the best thing to do to fix it. The levels of the game are separated in a 4-day structure, with a boss level on the end of each of them. And I have to say, I did not expect these boss levels. They are actually quite fun and refreshing, even though it does stray away from the realistic feel of the overall game, with the boss enemies soaking up bullets like they are Tic Tacs. Also, before I finish this review, I do want to say that the levels are actually quite well crafted and, as far as I know, represent the aesthetics quite well. On the other hand, they do get a bit samey after a while, and I stopped caring about them overall, focusing more on the enemies than anything else, which would be easily fixed by adding some color to the game. But I guess that is just my opinion, can't argue about tastes. So, to wrap this all up, I actually liked the Hong Kong Massacre. And whoa, did I never expect to say this in my life. Clearly clickbait title aside, it is a fast-paced game that manages to be challenging but easy to get into at the same time, and there aren't many games like it out there. But I do have to mention that the game costs around 17 euros at the moment, and with it being a tad bit easier with the slow motion, might come up short. My best guess is that anyone can finish it in 2-3 hours tops, with the replayability value being a bit low unless you want to perfect runs, in which case it might be worth your time. Oh, and before I finish, thank you so much for watching until this point. Do leave a like if you liked my video, or share for other people to find it, or subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, goodbye and thanks for watching.